if you're training speed, if you don't give them adequate recovery or it goes on too long, it's not speed. This is speed. This is a component I want to develop. So the drill or the game has to be short enough where they can get relevant exposure for it to really be speed. So it needs to be intense. If you're thinking about ball in play, so that would be if you take something like wrestling and you say, I'm going to do this thing that it's shuttle runs, and I'm going to do shuttle runs for X amount of distance, X amount of time, and all the rest of it. But it doesn't take in the fact that the calorific demand of wrestling is huge. So the guy who's conditioned for that running, for whatever, even if the time frame is appropriate, then when he experiences a couple of tackles or a couple of rucks that he has to clear out, he's wiped out, he's gone. So you've got to make what are the skill in play or the ball play demands of the skill that you're trying to develop an energy system for. And then the other side of that will be when people think like, well, wrestling's important, here's a wrestling drill, and let's say our ball in play time is 1 minute 30, I'm going to wrestle for 1 minute 30. When in a game situation, you know that after a certain amount of time, the referee is going to blow the whistle. So in a wrestling sport, that might be a 3-minute skill. It might be a 5-minute skill, but in rugby, it's going to be 10 seconds. Yeah. And then it's going to be something else. You've got to reposition. Then there'll be an aerobic element where you get to sort of recover. So you've got to think about like, what are the demands of these skills? How often do they come up? And what's the energy system? If you're in a situation where you don't condition your players for a worst case scenario, they're gonna concede tries or they're gonna get injured. Yep. So it's really good to have a little bit in there. But if you were to say, let's say we were at that Super Rugby level where it could happen for 3 minutes, if we tried to do sprinting for 3 minutes, or if we tried to do wrestling for 3 minutes, it would just be garbage after a while, and it could probably actually lead to injuries, and we wouldn't be preparing for the intensity that it's actually required. So you've got to look at like, if you watch the video, if you watch the guys off the ball when they're not actually on the ball, there's some standing, there's some hands on knees, watching, waiting to see what's happening. Everyone actually mentioned how they did a lot of repositioning, a lot of scanning, but the kind of energy system demands of that, it's aerobic. It's not a 3-minute flogging, it's a 3-minute game. So it's a mistake to think of it as like, rugby is a wrestling and sprinting sport, so I need to do 3 minutes of wrestling and sprinting. If you do that, you lose the intensity, and you'll also increase the risk of injury. But if you do a small-sided game, then you're already overexposed. So if you did something like 5-on-5 for 3 minutes, you're going way out.